right? But there is a requisite amount of shooting you need in the modern NBA from distance. See, I'm not saying they can't play another style. I'm saying let's look at the lineup they're going to run out there. Steph's the greatest shooter ever, right? Who else can shoot at all? Wiggins is a bad shooter. He'll shoot a lot of threes, like a 33% shooter. And that's because he's made improvements. He is not a shooter. Draymond has been awful from three. And that's playing on the Warriors where he gets the spacing, right? Because where Steph and Clay launch from, not all threes are created equal. It gives the defense has to rotate from farther away. So Dre has more time. And even with that, the dude's shooting under 30% from three. Had one or two seasons. Wiseman's not a shooter. Pascal is not a shooter. Show me where the shooting comes. You need.
I am so fascinated by you. I'm so fascinated. I'm so fascinated by you talking to basketball people like you know more than us. We watch the games. We know what the hell you're talking about. But in the end, when you look at the Western Conference, you not just look at the team we're talking about here. We got to look at some of the other teams and what they're expected to do or not expected to do. Portland was a question mark. They came on strong in the bubble. Before the bubble, they weren't qualifying for the playoffs. Memphis was a question mark. We understand that. New Orleans was a question mark. They could be on the come up. I'm saying take into account coaching. Take into account experience. Take into account marksmanship. The bottom line is Andrew Wiggins was no scrub. If Jimmy Butler can join Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins and turn them into a playoff team from a perennial lottery team, I think a healthy Steph Curry in that system, being coached by Steve Kerr, shooting the ball the way that he can shoot, with Draymond not looking for him to shoot, but defend, rebound, pushing the ball up the floor, creating playmaking opportunities for other guys, finally having a post presence, because it damn sure wasn't Zsa Zsa Jr. or Andrew Bogut from years ago. You take all of those things into consideration. I'm talking about potentially squeezing into a playoff. That's all I'm talking about here. We're out of the championship equation. We get all of that. But can we definitively look here and go like this? All of those teams I mentioned, you know for beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're going to step up and produce better than Golden State. Can we definitively say that?
Wiseman's the right choice, Stephen A.? So you're saying Wiseman?
I think so. Absolutely.
Stephen A.
I think so. Yes. Yes.
Stephen A. You said Andrew Bogut, but didn't Andrew Bogut win a world championship with the Golden State Warriors?
No. I mean, no. I'm not knocking Bogut. Hold on, Jay. I'm not knocking Bogut. I'm talking about offensively. He was not a presence. Wiseman will be a presence in the low post offensively. I know that Bogut was great defensively as a rim protector.
All I'm saying, Stephen A., is like Wiseman's not going to be a guy that you throw the ball to on the block and say, hey, go get me 20. He's going to be utilized in the continuity system that Steve Kerr has, which means he's going to be on the perimeter. And I guess it leads to a lot of questions, right? How do you play Draymond Green and Wiseman together? I mean, because they're both kind of similar players, which is going to be interesting. And then I hate talking about this, but it's been factual when Clay has not been on the court, is that when you don't have another playmaker to make life easy for Steph, that means that the ball has to be in Steph's hands more because he has to be that playmaker. And when I've seen the ball be in Steph's hands more, the volume increases. I typically have seen him get hurt when he's being asked to do a lot more because Clay has been able to relieve so much of that load.
But Jay, listen, forgive me. Of course, if guys get hurt, that changes it. I'm saying if Steph were healthy, right now he's healthy. Of course, if he gets hurt, they change everything. All I'm saying, that's a given. But if Steph stays healthy, with the lineup that they presently have, hold on, Max. You almost made me hold on. You almost made me laugh with this, Jay, and here's why. You said you can't go to Wiseman for 20 points. Well, guess what? Andrew Bogut never gave you more than 7. Can you go to Wiseman for 13?
No.
Can you go to him for 15, Jay? I'm talking about in single coverage because you got to pay attention. Can you do that?
Stephen A., I'm going to tell you, the way Bogut was used because of his shooting ability, it made him such a threat because he could shoot the ball, and it put him in a lot of PNRs, and it really caused the defense to have issues when you guard all the things that Klay Thompson and Steph did off the ball movement of Bogut and his pick due to his perimeter shooting to a degree. It was a threat. And I don't think James Wiseman has to learn how to shoot the ball.
Draymond Draymond Green was always Steph's pick-and-roll partner. I always thought until KD got there, actually the second most important player on the team because of that. And whether or not Wiseman can also do that, I ask you again, Stephen A., I'm not questioning that they have talent. They have talent. Where does the shooting come from? I don't care how different you play. You must have a base level of shooting, or else you're counting by twos. Where does it come from?
Well, let me answer that.
They have to make a move, right?
Let me answer that. Let me answer that. Let me answer that. The fact of the matter is that if you have a marksman who is so lethal that he draws attention, he creates open shots, and dudes who usually can't shoot find a way to shoot just a tad bit better because they're wide open. It happens. It couldn't happen last year with Steph and Clay both going, but with a guy on the court, it could create shooting opportunities for other people. Good enough for them to win during the regular season before going home in the first round of the playoffs.
We just saw this with Steph and Clay. Dre stopped being able to shoot the three. He had 1 or 2 good seasons. That's with Steph and Clay on the court, and Draymond was known as a five that you could play 5 out with. Right? Small ball, the death lineup.
Stephen A., are you
not only Draymond was the pick and roll guy, and they could swarm defensively, but he could also knock down outside shots. He has not been able to do that recently.
Stephen A., I would agree with you. I still think they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. Let's not forget, too, that there's going to be a play-in scenario where 9 and 10 have a chance to get in. Like, they can get in. I'm just saying that from what I've seen, the history, the body of work, that what happens is when Clay is not on the court and you don't have that shooting option like Max is talking about, it increases the probability of Stephen Curry getting hurt. He has ankle issues. We all know about this, right? One of the reasons you mitigate that is you play him off the ball. You don't force him to do so much with the ball because he's forced to take a lot of tough shots. And that's my only thing is, like, I feel like it's a turn ankle away from Golden State being exactly what they were last year, even if having Andrew Wiggins on his team.
Well, congratulations to you, Jay. I thought we were talking basketball, not probabilities. Well, should I call you Jay Kellerman? That's number 1. Number 2, Andrew Wiggins. He did average 19 points a game last year.
What are you talking about?
Hold on. Wait a minute. He did average 19 points a game last year, and on top of it all, shot 45% from the field and 34% from three-point range. I mean, my God, stop the presses. So they got nobody else to score at all other than Steph. They have no weapons whatsoever other than Steph. I'm just saying I beg to differ. Not only that, I did say playoff and go home in the first round. I didn't take this discussion beyond that. I said playoffs, go home in the first round, which you just acknowledged is possible.
Let's get into
how efficiently are they scoring?
Let's get into basketball, Stephen A. Why is there so much open floor when you play against Golden State? Why is there so many areas?
What do you mean? Why is there so much open floor
when you play against Golden State? Because you constantly
because Steph is a liability defensively.
All that forces defenses to space out. You force defense. So all I'm saying to you is that Andrew Wiggins isn't the dead-eye shooter that Clay is. You can still pack paints. You can pack the paint to a degree. I would live with Andrew Wiggins taking 10 to 15 threes a game. Okay, Andrew Wiggins, go ahead and beat us. It's not the same caliber of shooting that you have from Klay Thompson. I think they can make the playoffs. I'm just saying it's not going to be that easy like you're saying it's going to be.
If you say you think they can make the playoffs, then Jay, make it simple. You agree with me because that's all I'm saying. They can make the playoffs and go home in the first round. That's what I said 20 minutes ago. First, and then make it in the first round. And secondly, Jay, Max, I'm not listening to you right now. Jay, here's the deal. You said Andrew Bogut was a scoring threat. We have to have a discussion about that. I mean, you got some explaining to do on that one, Jay Williams. Andrew Bogut, a scoring threat? You got something explaining to do. You really do.
Scoring threat. I'm talking about his ability to shoot the ball here and there as a screener and a roller.
The last time Andrew Bogut made a jump shot, you had hair. And my hairline was slower than you had hair. That's the last time Andrew Bogut made a jump shot. What are you talking about?
I can't figure out. You're talking about you're not trying to hear me, but you're not trying to hear Jay or reality either. When Jay brings up the fact that Steph is going to have too much to listening to you talk basketball sometimes. I really am. Injury, That's real. Like, one of the reasons James Harden has value is he's able to do that volume of stuff and stay healthy. Steph has not been able to do that, and he's going to have to do more than he's ever done in that regard.
Molly, I'll stop.
And no one else can shoot the ball.
Molly, stop. There's no reason for me to debate them any longer because they're bringing up the probability of injuries. I thought we were just talking, assuming people were healthy. Of course, if people get injured, there's nothing to discuss.
I'm sorry.
The right choice.
I'm actually with you on that one, Stephen A. All right, guys.